Hitori Gotō is an extremely shy girl who struggles to make friends and work in groups at school. When she sees a rock band being interviewed on TV, she decides to learn to play the guitar in the hopes of making more friends. Unfortunately, her social anxiety keeps her from making friends throughout middle school, but she finds some modest success, playing covers of popular songs and posting them online under the alias Guitar Hero. After struggling to be sociable during her first year of high school, a girl named Nijika Ijichi begs her to replace a guitarist who left the band before the band's performance. Hitori follows Nijika to an underground bar, where she meets her other bandmate, bassist Ryumata. Despite playing poorly at the live show, Hitori is glad that the others gave her the nickname Bocchi, and that they are fans of her Guitar Hero channel, though they are unaware Hitori is Guitar Hero. However, Hitori races home shortly after the show, feeling exhausted from the various social interactions that day. Bocchi learns quickly how many clubs charge bands for performing based on the number of tickets sold. In order to compensate for their poor performance, the band decides to take a job at the same club where they just performed, as Nijika's older sister Seika is the manager. Bocchi tries to catch a cold in order to avoid having to work and interact with people, but she ends up feeling well enough to go anyway. Despite her discomfort at pouring and serving drinks in a crowded club, she manages to get through the day and is inspired by watching another rock band perform. The next day, however, she gets a real cold. Bocchi tries to work up the nerve to ask her classmate, Ikuyo Kita, to be the vocalist and backup guitarist. Ikuyo seeks Bocchi's assistance in learning to play the guitar in order to become closer to her senior bandmate. However, as they travel to Shimokadazawa, Ikuyo panics when she sees Nijika and Ryo, as she was the guitarist who fled before their previous live show. The manager persuades Ikuyo to work at the club, and she immediately makes an impression on the other members, despite Bocchi's jealousy. Ikuyo doubts her ability to join the band after previously fleeing, but after working the show, the other girls persuade her to give it another shot. Bocchi has been assigned the task of writing lyrics for a new original song. She even tries to impersonate a party girl, but ends up frightening her family. The band decides to go to a park the next day for inspiration and to boost their online social media presence with some group photos. Bocchi, on the other hand, has a nervous breakdown at the prospect of becoming a attention whore online. Later, Bocchi meets Ryo in a small cafe and discovers that Ryo was once a member of another band, but left because she felt they were selling out to follow popular trends. Bocchi is inspired to write a new song that night and hopes to take more photos with her band. Nijika is surprised to learn that Seika will not let them back on stage for the club's next live show unless they first audition. Over the next week, the band decides to focus on practicing their new original song. The band passes the audition, and Seika quietly informs her friend that she initially blocked Nijika's band in order to motivate them to work harder. Bocchi is terrified after learning that she must sell at least 5 tickets to help the band cover the venue's reserve fee. Bocchi faces a difficult task after realizing that her parents are the only people close to her who can buy her tickets. Her pride prevents her from asking for their assistance in selling the others. An alcoholic woman, Kikuri Hiroi, stumbles by as she sits in a park in a state of melancholy. In the conversation that follows, she reveals that she plays the bass for another band and, as a thank you to Bocchi for buying her food, sets up an impromptu live show on the street with her to help her sell her remaining tickets. After the performance ends, a couple of girls buy 2 of the tickets from Bocchi, and Kikuri buys the third and last one. While watching a fireworks show, Bocchi responds to her bandmates that she sold all her tickets, but they assume she's lying to save face. Nijika and Ikuyo decide to visit Bocchi's house to brainstorm ideas for t-shirt designs for the concert. Bocchi goes overboard with her decorations because it is her first time inviting someone to her house, confusing her bandmates. Her parents, despite not believing Bocchi as friends, spend time with the group. They realize in the evening that they have spent the entire day without creating any designs and decide to use Nijika's initial simple t-shirt design. Unfortunately, a typhoon changes course and approaches Tokyo on the day of their live performance. Despite the fact that the typhoon has reduced the expected attendance rate, the Kessoku Band continues with their concert. The band members, save for Bocchi, take a huge hit to their morale after seeing the smaller crowd and hearing their less than excited comments on the show, and make several mistakes in their opening number that were not present during their audition. Unable to accept this, Bocchi performs a spur-of-the-moment guitar solo, jolting the girls out of their funk and allowing them to finish the concert successfully. By the end of the day, Nijika has deduced her identity as Guitar Hero and informs Bocchi of it. Bocchi apologizes, stating that she wanted to reveal her identity after she improved herself so as to not disappoint her fans. However, Nijika states her belief that with Bocchi by their side, her dreams to follow Seika's footsteps and make her Livehouse famous will come true, as long as she keeps showing her bandmates and audience how Bocchi the Rock rocks the stage. Bocchi is depressed and disappointed at the end of summer vacation because none of her bandmates invited her out like typical high schoolers should, so they invite her to the Enoshima coast out of pity to make memories. However, their adventure results in a number of mishaps, including being hit on by strangers, losing more money to Ryo, being attacked by black kites, and developing several muscle aches the next day after climbing the long stairs to the Enoshima shrine. Despite this, Bocchi is having so much fun that she wishes she could return to the first day of summer. Bocchi learns that her school is looking for bands to perform at their upcoming cultural festival, but she can't bring herself to submit an application for Kessoku Band. Ikuyo submits the form for her, but after seeing Bocchi's reaction, she feels guilty. Kikuri later appears at Starry and invites Kessoku Band to see her band Sick Hack perform live at Folt, a Shinjuku club that specializes in psychedelic rock. Kikuri tells Bocchi after the show that she, too, was a reclusive loner in school, who thought playing guitar would make her popular, and she drank to deal with her nerves on the day of her first live performance. Kikuri then promises to come see Bocchi's next show at her school. Bocchi later tells Ikuyo that she's looking forward to the festival. Bocchi hides in a secluded corner of the school on the first day of the cultural festival, realizing she hasn't updated her Guitar Hero video account in a while, fearing her online fans will abandon her if she doesn't post soon. Bocchi's bandmates track her down and take her on a tour of the school before returning her to her class, where she was attempting to avoid her maid cafe duties. While Bocchi struggles to do the bare minimum as a maid, her bandmates thrive when Bocchi's classmates dress up as maids and Ryo as butlers. Later, Kessoku Band takes a look at the gym where they will be performing, and Bocchi talks about how she borrowed her old guitar from her father. The next day, Kessoku Band's family and friends, plus Hiroi, show up in the audience as they take the stage to play an original set. During the concert, Bocchi's guitar sounds out of tune, and one of the strings even snaps before her solo, but she pulls through thanks to Ikuyo's improvisation and the use of one of Hiroi's glass sake containers as a makeshift bottleneck slide. After finishing the song, Ikuyo attempts to give Bocchi the spotlight, but Bocchi panics and attempts a stage dive into the audience, landing flat on her face. After recovering from the concert, Bocchi's father reveals that he secretly monetized Bocchi's Guitar Hero account and gives her the money from the channel's ad revenue, telling her to use it to purchase a new guitar. Bocchi goes shopping with her bandmates, and despite being scared of interacting with the staff inside, finally settles on a new guitar with Ikuyo's help.